I'm going to review a book called The Frozen Chosen by Thomas McKelvey Cleaver. The 1st Marine Division in the Battle of the Chosen Reservoir. Now, I have a different outlook on this book and that battle, because I actually had a teacher who fought at Chosen. He never really talked about it, but it always made me wonder about the battle because, well, he had a different outlook on life. And I went in the Marine Corps and I got a different outlook, but not quite like his. And I've already read quite a few books about this, and this is part of my research project into Commandant Cates, who was Commandant at this time. But reading this book, it really explains the command failures that led to the Marines and the Army units that ended up being surrounded by 6 divisions of Chinese. And it's an interesting book, I'll tell you that much. Howdy, y'all. This is Paul, the Redneck Thinker. What we have here is a channel to communicate. I want you folks to be thinking by the time you leave my videos. Why? Because I'm tired of people talking via what other people tell them to think. So, watch my video and enjoy the chance to think for yourself. Now, if you want to get a good idea of what was going on in the world just before North Koreans invaded South Korea in 1950, this book will explain it to you. And it'll explain to you some of the command level failures. This book was written by somebody who'd been in the Navy, and the prologue was written by a gentleman who was a colonel who worked for the highest level of the army. And both of them talked about how it was a command failure. It really was a command failure. Now, this Army colonel worked for General Colin Powell, and his name is Lawrence Wilkerson. So if he wrote the prologue to this book, that tells you how much of a command failure that Korea was. And let me tell you something, it really was that. And those Marines that came out of the Chosen alive, they did something. What the Marines did in Korea, that was something. But they had the problem of they were under the command of Douglas MacArthur and Edward Almond. Both of them, neither one of them folks should have been in any kind of command capacity at that time. Now, what MacArthur did in Japan, okay, fine. He did a really good job. Incheon, really good job. Everything other than that, bunch of mess. This book goes so far into that. It's a great read. It really is. It'll tell you quite a bit about that time period. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. Now look, there are a lot of books you can pick up when it comes to anything dealing with Korea, when it comes to Chosen Reservoir. But let me tell you something. You ain't going to find a better book as a beginner. You aren't going to find a better book as somebody who loves history of that time period, well, history period, than you will with this book. Now, there ain't too many folks that have covered it quite in this manner, and I appreciated every bit of it. So if you are fascinated with war history, if you want to know more about Korea, if you want to know the truth of Douglas MacArthur and Edward Almond, you probably don't know a whole lot about Edward Almond, but Douglas MacArthur you should know about. This is a book to pick up right here. I highly suggest this book right here, The Frozen Chosen. It's a really good book. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye. Folks, I just want to say thank you for listening. I want to thank you for taking your time. I want to hear what your comments are about what you think on this topic, because your comments are what's important, not necessarily mine. I don't care if you're Republican, I don't care if you're conservative, I don't care if you're liberal, I don't care if you're Democrat. I want to hear your opinion on these topics. I want to thank you yet again for listening to my video. Like, subscribe, and all that other hoopla. This has been Paul, the Redneck Thinker. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.